80 plus brand new WWE action figures were revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, man. And today we're going to be breaking into every single one of them and breaking all of them down, man. And this is probably one of the more absurd ones, which we have gotten into a little bit here. But we're going to start off with the Universal Horrors WWE Elite line. Now, we did do a whole sit down on this wave and talked about these figures, got close-ups of them. But we do have to cover them because they were, brand new. But we do have this Michael Myers as Kane Elite figure, which doubles as a cocaine, which we touched on. You got the mechanic outfit, the knife. I know we've kind of went over this. If you want to go check out our full-length interview and deep dive into this figure and our reaction to this, and, we got close-up images of this entire set, you can go check that out, but we know how absurd this is. It's a crazy reveal, insane stuff going on with this Kane figure, and I look forward to it. And this was genuinely one of the most insane things that we saw at San Diego Comic-Con for WWE and Mattel. And, of course, we also have Invisible Man John Cena as a part of this wave, which is pretty cool. I also think it's pretty cool how this figure can double as a, regular gear John Cena if you want to. You have Invisible Man, and then you can take all the, the dressings off of it. You can put it in regular wrestling gear as well if you want to, which I think is pretty great. And, it's kind of a follow-up of the clear John Cena that we saw last year. So I think that's really fantastic as well. But the Invisible Man John Cena is impressive. And then the next wave, there's supposed to be 3 figures in wave 1. There's only 2 figures now. But in wave 2, we also have a look at Jacob Fatu as Wolfman, which is just ridiculous, man. I mean, look at the fur texture. Again, we did take a deep dive look at this with John Lee, the designer on this. But, you're getting these insane sculpts on this. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever, to be honest with you. But, I mean, it makes sense as the crossover does. But just absurd to even think that this exists in the real world. But I love the Jacob Fatu Wolfman. I really have no idea how to rank these Universal Horror figures. But we're going to, of course, get into this and break it all down, and hopefully these figures will deliver when we get them in hand. But we also have a look at the Kevin Owens zombie figure, which I think is also really impressive. And again, I hate to keep saying it, but if you want really good close-up images of this and not just still images, we got video and everything of all of these figures. But the Kevin Owens figure was really fun, one that I did not expect, very reminiscent of the Bite Owens Bite Zombie Kevin Owens figure that we got all those years ago in the Mattel Basic line, which was awesome. But the last horror figure we have is Dracula CM Punk, which is really cool. They did touch on this Larry as the Bat, which again is a really cool detail, but they did say that this Bat figure is going to be significantly smaller on the final product, and the staff that the CM Punk figure comes with is going to feature the Chicago Stars, which I think is a really nice detail. You get elements of Dracula, elements of CM Punk. They also said that the teeth are going to be bloody. There's going to be some blood around the mouth and stuff, which, again, man, Mattel continuing to add in that bloody detail, which I think is just really cool. I mean, it's awesome. We really do have the best of everything going on here. But Kane, Invisible Man, John Cena, the Wolfman, Jacob Fatu, you got the zombie or the, dead Kevin Owens figure with the game controller, which is really unique and cool. And then you do have the Dracula CM Punk. So I look forward to future waves of this. I can't wait to see who else they unveil in this. But this was kind of the first images of the gallery. I wanted to break these down because they were truly some of the craziest things we saw coming out of Comic-Con. But another set of figures that we have to get into is going to be the top picks figures. We're rolling into the top picks, and the next figure we're going to discuss is John Cena. Now, this is one of a few different last time is now John Cena's that we saw, and this is another yellow gear. We got the Australia gear, and then we do get this gear here, which is a tad different. This is going to be a top picks line. I do believe that this top picks wave consists of John Cena, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And so the first figure is the Cena. It's just a repaint. You get the yellow, you get the blue, good graphics in here, knocking out one of those farewell tour gears or the retirement tour gears, which we're pretty familiar with at this point. But it's a great formula. They're reusing parts of the Ultimate Edition. It's a really interesting look and one that's different, and I'm just glad we're knocking off another one of those retirement tour John Cena attire. So that is really nice right there. But we also have a look at the Final Boss Rock or the Sell Your Soul Cody. I think this is Snatcher Soul Rock. I think this is the attire he was wearing when John Cena turned heel, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I know he didn't have the thumb out, but, they're just going to reuse the same hands. This is kind of a Elite 115 repaint, essentially, but I do like that we're getting this moment for The Rock, and you can even see on the weight belt it says Cody Soul, which I think is pretty cool, and yeah, I like this. I think this is accurate for the most part. If it's wrong, you can let me know, but We do have this, Snatcher Soul Rock is at least what I'm going to dub it, but this is going to be a Top Picks Rock Elite, which I think is fair and one that people are going to want. And then we also have a look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, I do believe this is from the SummerSlam poster where he has the Statue of Liberty's arm with my mind is literally going blank on the torch. He's got the torch in hand with the arm connected, very similar to some Stone Colds we've seen just this past year. And it does look like they're using a smaller leg mold, but I'm guessing this is just a prototype. Maybe they'll change it, I don't know. But they have continued to pump these Austins out with this formula, and so we'll just have to monitor this and see if it changes at all. But hopefully, everything comes together nice, and I look forward to seeing, how all this looks in finality when we get it in hand. But we also have another Stone Cold, which is really cool as well. So, a lot of the Stone Cold Steve Austins we saw at this show or that were revealed to us were a lot different than Stone Colds we're used to, right? We're used to just the black trunks, but we have this specific poster Stone Cold. Then we get this one here, which is a cameraman Stone Cold, which has this, WWE cameraman suit, and then he's got this old school camera and this wig and hat, which is really fun as well. And I'm guessing it'll double as a regular Stone Cold in black trunks. So you're kind of getting a 2-in-1 figure, a 3-in-1 figure, if you will, and you could use this to make custom guys for your arena. If you don't want it for that specific Stone Cold moment, you can build out a whole arena with this figure if you want to. But that is another Stone Cold we got. And then another really cool Stone Cold that I found to be the most impressive, or the one that was really exciting, is Bedpan Austin, or Nurse Austin, Dr. Austin, where he beats the hell out of Vince McMahon with the bedpan. We're getting Stone Cold with a doctor mask and hat, or the whatever the hell you want to call it, like not necessarily a hairnet, but it does have this hat and the mask sculpted to the face. And then you get a pissed off Austin head, and he comes with a damn bedpan, so you can blast people upside the head. But I'm guessing it's also going to come with the scrubs. So he has the scrubs on the bottom, and then he's going to have scrubs on top as well. I'm guessing which will be cloth goods. Maybe they'll reuse the Isaac Yankem shirt or something, or I don't know what they're going to do there. But this is a fun one. I hate that we don't have a Vince McMahon figure to pair with this, because I feel like, if you're going to do this moment, you kind of have to have the Vince McMahon, right? I mean, I don't know how you make this moment without Vince McMahon, but that's what we have here. And I think this is a strong Stone Cold. So all the Stone Colds we saw were different moments. They're not just rehashing the same ones over and over, which I think is great. But we are moving on into this Charlotte Flair figure, which I really was not a fan of, man. It kind of looks weird. I like the colors. The purple's nice, this kind of light violet look. The sculpt's nice, but I don't know, man. I don't like the old school cut now on the women's figures, just doesn't do it for me. The sculpts are nice, the colors are nice and what have you. Head sculpt even looks like Charlotte. It's just, I don't know, this one didn't really stand out to me. It looked very basic in the booth, in my opinion, so it didn't really stand out too much, but we do have a new Charlotte coming. We also have a new Elite Cody Rhodes, and this one's very similar to the Codys we've seen over the past couple years, especially the Elite 125. But this one does come with his newer skull mask, which we have come to know. Looks really, really good, highly detailed. Hate we don't have his trench coat or his entrance jacket or what have you, but the skull mask is really sick, and I like the way that the metallic gold kind of bounces off there. Very nicely sculpted and everything. So it'll be worth the pickup for the mask alone, right? So I think that works, and you can, the attire's very similar, but, he's got the clown feet. It's just a standard Cody, as we know. But we also have a Jade Cargill. First Jade Cargill we have seen since Elite Series 116. She has her black and silver. She's got some good sculpts going on. Good likeness on the head sculpt. This is a solid figure, man. Her first figure was good. This one's solid as well. It doesn't look weird. I think they did a good job on this Jade figure. Kind of a repaint, but you do get a new head sculpt or some hair on this one, which I think is good. The likeness is good, and she comes with the signature hands and everything. It's a solid Jade, man. Solid Jade figure for this. And then we do have a good report on the giant sombrero Xavier Woods. I thought this figure was going to be canceled. I didn't think that we would end up getting this figure, but we actually did. It seems like this one is full on going to come out, just like Sheamus and some of these other guys that are getting released. But this looks like a good Xavier Woods figure, man. I like the way it looks. The head sculpt also looks cool. He's got the pissed off look, got this updated gear. You got the unicorn on there, which is pretty sweet. Giant sombrero, which is cool as well. You can put that on whoever the hell you want. So I dig that, man. I'm glad that we're getting this figure. I like the way that it's built. So nice formula on this Xavier Woods. And then we have an updated Ilya Dragunov. Now, this updated Ilya Dragunov was kind of in the back of the booth. He was kind of hard to see. That's why the pictures are kind of blurry, but you can make out some of the details here. Nice looking Ilya Dragunov, nice update. The boots look good. He's got the knee brace. comes with the U.S. Championship, and he has his updated tattoo, which I think is a big part of this. This is a perfect update for him. His other figures look like the character. I felt like his first one was kind of a letdown, but then his second one, the Elite 114, I think it was really strong, and then this one looks like a nice addition as well. So I do like this Ilya Dragunov figure. And then we also have an updated Braun Breaker, which also looks good. It's got black and white gear. Not the most exciting figure of all time, but you do have the Fear the Spear shirt. They're kind of doing different things with the tan. They're kind of going back and forth on the tan, which we've touched on before. But, it looks like Braun Breaker. You get that black and white gear, kind of an updated Braun Breaker for you, at least for now. And, I imagine we're going to get an Ultimate Edition at some point. They haven't really announced one, but I feel like that'll be the case. We just have to wait and see on that. But that is Braun Breaker. And then we also have a look at the Royal Rumble Elite Build-A-Figure wave, which is going to be a Harvey Whippleman Build-A-Figure set. And the first figure is going to be from Royal Rumble 2025. This is Kevin Owens. This is going to be from his matchup with Cody Rhodes. Pretty solid. It is, it's a moment in time. We don't have all the updated tattoos and what have you. He's got the long pants on instead of the standard shorts we've come to know for Kevin Owens, but he does have the Canadian Dream son of a security systems technician shirt, which is very funny and unique to the matchup itself. But we do have a nice Kevin Owens there, kind of changing up the look of him. And then we also have a Sid Justice, which I think is great. I'm actually shocked it took this long to get this look in Elite figure form. We've had basics in the past, but this one looks to be pretty good. Kind of an update on that Legends buck we got in the Greatest Hits line. And then we also have the Build-A-Figure Harvey Whippleman, which is a nice addition. Did not see this coming. He comes with a nicely sculpted handbag. Got the light blue, tuxedo or suit in there, which is nice. Can't really see what the face looks like at this stance, but this is one that I did not see coming, so I think that's pretty unique that we're getting these characters in the line that we have not seen from Mattel, so I do like to see that. And then the other two figures in the set that finish off this Build-A-Figure are going to be Shawn Michaels, which is kind of a repaint of some other Elite Shawn Michaels we've seen, right? He comes with the cutoff shirt, which I think is a long time coming, but they're reusing that basic 100 head, which I don't like. I do like this gear. I think it's Royal Rumble 06, if I'm not mistaken, but it's a good-looking Shawn. It's just I'd like to see some new head sculpts for Ruthless Aggression Shawn Michaels specifically, but this figure should pose well. It'll get the job done. I like this shirt. You can fix up and do some different things, but there is Shawn Michaels. And then the last figure in the set is going to be this Eddie Guerrero, which I do not like. I don't like this figure. I think the head sculpt, I didn't like the original Elite 95. I thought the head sculpt was weird. He's making this weird facial expression. The tan's not right. I do like the shirt. I like the shirt. I always love that poster and those graphics for that show. The gear is sweet, but I think you got to fix this guy up. I don't like it, man. I don't like how we get these inconsistencies similar to Braun Breaker, Hulk Hogan, these different characters where they fix it and then they go back and I don't know, it's just very inconsistent. It makes collecting kind of wild, especially when you put them all up next to each other and they're not uniform. I don't know, that kind of drives me nuts. But Elite 95 redo here for this Royal Rumble 05 Eddie Guerrero, I believe. But you put all those together, you get the Build-A-Figure, and it's a solid set. I don't think it's earth-shattering, but some good stuff there. But another one we have is Joe Hendry. I do not like this figure. I don't like the head sculpt, and I feel like that's kind of what you want, man. I feel that, you do get the Say His Name shirt, the WrestleMania Joe Hendry shirt. I don't like the head sculpt. I just don't see it. I don't know what the figure even looks like underneath, so we'll have to wait and see what formula they use for this guy. Hopefully it's maybe... Yeah, it looks like they gave him small arms, which I don't like, so I don't know, man. There's some weird stuff going on here with this Joe Hendry. I think his next figure will be better. They'll probably put out a basic that'll look identical to the character, and then you'll have to buy that and fix the head. You guys know how that works, so we'll see about that. But we also have CM Punk here. I dig this cloth goods shirt of an iconic shirt, iconic moment, Money in the Bank briefcase. Beautiful looking CM Punk Elite. He comes with a sculpted wrist tape and everything. This is a home run, perfect fit into this line, and CM Punk continues to add to his catalog, but I do like this gear, moment. Perfect CM Punk Elite right here. I like this one a lot. We also have the Build-A-Figure for this WrestleMania set, which is going to be Armando Estrada. First time getting him from Mattel, which looks really, really good. I like the head sculpt. The likeness is really strong too, with the sunglasses and hat on there. You can pair this with your Umaga Ultimate, your Umaga Elite that's later in this wave. I like how he's got the kind of stripes going down on the collar. Very nice Armando Estrada. And you can pair that with this Umaga Elite, which is his first Elite in a while. We have not seen an Elite Umaga in quite a bit. So I do like this Umaga Elite. I still think the Ultimate's the go-to. I think that's the go-to, Umaga figure. But if you want to build your Armando figure, you're going to have to buy this Umaga, unfortunately. But there is Umaga. I do like this figure, though. I think this is a sweet Umaga. Hopefully his legs pose around, and we get some good stuff going on there, and he doesn't have damn snap back and forth awfulness going on. But we do have Diesel finishing out this wave to build your Armando Estrada. Really good gear right here, even though it's a very specific look for the character, you know, not one that people really maybe even would want or would, you know, search after. However, I do like this. You get the entrance gear, you get the silver and black. I like this new head sculpt we're getting as well. Shades on there. It's pretty toyetic, man, all things considered. And Kevin Nash / Diesel has a really good formula. It poses well and does all those things. So we do love to see that out of him. But then we're moving into these Elite 3-packs. So we do have this first one. It is the WrestleMania 41 3-pack, which includes CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns from their epic triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. This CM Punk, I know that the head sculpts are weird. I know a lot of people were discussing the head sculpts, talking about how odd they look and how weird they look on CM Punk and Roman Reigns. They are brand new. We've never seen these before, and they are hand-painted prototypes, so that's why they look a little odd, but we do get that gray hoodie that was kind of leaked on the aftermarket that we've discussed a little bit. It looks pretty good on the figure here. You know, he's kind of making this angry, pissed-off face. The gear looks pretty good for the most part. He does come with his leg tattoos. So you're getting, you know, we know what to expect out of the CM Punk formula, right? We know what we're getting here. I don't think it's anything that's going to shatter the stratoverse, or the stratosphere. But this CM Punk figure does look pretty good for the most part. I think that you're getting what you need. I guess it's just going to be wait and see on what the final head sculpt looks like. And then on the Seth Rollins, I wish that we could see more details of this figure because I really, really like this attire. The all white, you get the entrance garb, you get the sunglasses. This is a really nice gear. I'm very happy that we're actually getting this all-white gear. We've been begging for an updated formula, Seth Rollins with white attire, right? So I think that this looks sweet. I like the little silver details, very subtle. And so I think this Seth Rollins is probably one of the more underrated reveals that I think people aren't talking about. It wasn't front and center, so I think that's kind of why it's flying under the radar. But then we also have Roman Reigns, which we discussed. Still no Superman Punch logo on his thighs or on his pants for whatever reason. We have this new, you know, pissed off head sculpt, which looks interesting. I kind of like it, though. I kind of like this expression. He's kind of gritting. You know, he's getting ready. He comes with the acknowledge me hand. There's some good stuff here, but it is a re-release of the Elite 126, which is interesting, you know. But, yeah, I mean, it's part of the pack. You know, it's solid because you can just repaint a Punk, repaint a Rollins, repaint a Roman, and put them all three in a box set and throw in some new accessories. So I guess that's what works for this pack, but I'm sure the packaging will be nice. It's a solid figure. Solid figure, solid set. We'll see. You know, this is a year away before we get this in hand, so it's subject to change, but it's totally there. And then we have this Vengeance Triple Threat match 3-pack Elite set with The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Undertaker. You know, this is a Rock figure that says that we bring the whooping on the shirt. It's from 02, and this is a re-release of his WrestleMania Elite. Nothing too crazy here. The real difference is just going to be the shirt. You can put some jogging pants on there or what have you. I can't remember. I want to say his gear was white and red maybe from that match, but I can't remember. Like the graphics, I can't remember off the top of the dome. But we also get the camo Kurt Angle, and this figure looks great except for the head sculpt. I think the head sculpt looks abysmal. Hate this head sculpt, similar to Joe Hendry. I just don't think it really looks like the character. But the gear looks good, and you could head swap it. There's some options for you out there that you could switch it if you want to, but I do hate that. I hope they don't reuse this head. That's all I'll say. I hope that this is a one and done. But the last figure in the set is going to be Undertaker, which is great. It's an update on the... You guys, if you've been around the game a long time, man, way back in the day, the Elite 18 Undertaker was super sought after, and it was pretty much this figure, but this one's updated, and it comes with the shirt and the Dead Man ink on the pants, WWE Championship, interchangeable hands. Very sick Undertaker here, and they have yet to update him, so his figure should be really good. I look forward to this figure as well. And this is a pretty cool triple threat pack. I like this 3-box, or this 3 Elite set, or whatever the hell you want to say, this box set, which I think is going to be pretty sweet. But we're moving into some Monday Night Wars figures here that were on display. And the first one is going to be Sister Sherry. You're going to pair this with your Harlem Heat. Really cool figure going on, man. She has these brand new sculpted hands that I'm just now noticing, but the head sculpt looks like the character. It's got the cloth goods on there. Looks like it's going to be pretty posable. And this is definitely my favorite. Well, I don't know. I guess Sensational Sherry or Sister Sherry here has some unique figures, but this looks like a really, really good figure, man. I think it's really going to complete that Harlem Heat when you put them on the shelf. But we also have the Terry Funk figure here, which is kind of a re-release of a re-release because we have seen this exact look a couple times before, but they did change the tights to gray instead of red. He comes with a Funk U shirt, and we're getting the WCW Championship here, which is just fantastic. Oh my goodness. Like, this is, you know, the same figure which is a fine figure in itself, but adding these extra accessories that make it even better that you can pair with other funks is just so good. So I love to see that. We love to see that. And then we also have the Kurt Angle figure here, which is a re-release of a basic. So we've seen, I forgot to mention this, but we see a bunch of new Kurt Angles here, or 2 or 3 new Kurt Angles at Comic-Con. Still no boots, man. We still don't have the boots that we talk about all the time, but this red, white, and blue gear looks really, really good as well. You get the medals in there. It's a solid addition. It's not, it's not the best figure of all time, but you are kind of reusing that new Kurt Angle Elite mold that we saw in the ringside exclusive. So that's what you're getting out of that 3-pack. That's what you're getting here out of this Monday Night Wars Elite Kurt Angle. But I love Kurt Angle, so it's fair. And then we do have the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy short shorts version of Shawn Michaels, which is kind of a, I don't know, man, it took 17 years to get this figure in the Mattel line. This is one that people have fantasy booked, they've made customs, and we're finally getting it officially. And I think it looks really good, man. Really cool. I think this is going to stand out on a shelf. It's a little bit different than your typical Shawn Michaels, which is really cool. And I think this is brilliant, man. You love to see this out of Shawn. Again, still using ancient head sculpts for him. But, for a moment in time, it looks like this figure is going to be very posable. It looks like it's going to, accomplish all the goals you want it to accomplish, so we like that. But the last figure in the set is the Build-A-Figure, which is going to be an NWO Stevie Ray, which looks really good. We're continuing to, funnel out that NWO collection, continuing to get those black and white gears of these characters and these talents. And there's another one. So the Stevie Ray looks really good, and if it's just a repaint of his existing elites, then it should be pretty good, man. I think it's a toyetic figure. I like black and white. I think it's a very clean look for a character. But we also have this new Fanatics exclusive SummerSlam Elite Cody Rhodes that is a re-release of the Elite 111 Cody, but the head sculpt's better, and they're including this entrance jacket to upgrade it. And they're also including a piece of the ring canvas from that specific SummerSlam in Detroit where he wore this gear. So it's a lot going on here. I have no idea what this is going to go for, but I imagine it's going to be a very high price just because Fanatics is always trying to they just going to rob you, son. They're going to sneak up in the alley with the shank and get you, son. And so they're going to mark this thing up. I have no idea what this is going to go for, but I do not look forward to the price point. I don't know. I don't know, but getting a piece of the ring canvas, it being Fanatics exclusive, including the jacket, I just don't know. I have no idea where they're going to go here. We'll have to wait and see. But I do like this better than the Elite 111, but the Elite 111 was garbage to begin with, but they did upgrade it here. So we'll see. We'll see on this Cody Rhodes. Let's wait and see. But we also have this Shop WWE exclusive Hall of Fame Triple H that does come with the ring. Now, we touched on this before. I like this gear. It's a redo and a much better version of the original Elite 35 Triple H. Updated formula, updated everything, double jointed arms. It's going to come with a lot better formula. It's going to pose better. It comes with updated entrance gear, really cool packaging. It comes with a Hall of Fame ring on the pinky of the figure, which goes with the, I think this figure also comes with a plaque. I'm not entirely sure on that, so don't, write that in stone. But this is such a better figure than the Elite 35, man. It's unbelievable. You get the cloth goods on there compared with the gold. I look forward to this figure. I think it looks pretty sweet, and I think people are going to enjoy this one. So, Triple H looks good. I think this is WWE shop exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. We also have Defining Moments figures. This Naomi up here with the caution tape and the see-through jacket. This figure looks identical to the character. I don't know how the hell they did this, but it looks like they literally shrunk Naomi down and put her inside of the booth here. I don't know what's going on, but it looks identical to the character. Really fantastic likeness, really cool gear, lots of deco here. A very cool figure, and Naomi continues to bat a high percentage here with another great release from Mattel, and I look forward to getting this figure. But I also look forward to getting this re-release of this Defining Moments Triple H. Now, this is a figure that originally came out, I think, in 2011, which was 15 years ago now, but they're updating it here. I saw some people saying they were team cloth pants. You remember that on that first time they released this, it was a 2-in-1. You could have the jean, the return Triple H with the jacket and the shirt and the pants, and then you could take all the garb off, and it was a wrestling gear underneath of that iconic Triple H gear, that he wore. And so, I don't know, are you team 2-in-1, figure, or do you like the upgrade with the sculpted pants? I don't know how I feel. It kind of looks like, I don't mind that they reuse this head sculpt. I don't hate this head sculpt. A lot of people dunk on this head. I think it's okay. It's a different take. It's a different likeness and everything. Kind of pays homage to that original. But at the same time, I would like to see something new, with the advancements in technology and all these things. So I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I think it's fair. I am glad to have another one of these. I already have a custom of this that's pretty identical. I think my custom may look better, actually. So I don't know how I'm feeling there. We'll just have to do the review and the comparison. But I don't know, man. I feel like the OG was better. I don't know. Let me know what you think on that one. We can touch that up. But we do have a bunch of Street Fighter figures here, man. And these look pretty cool, man. These are pretty cool. And I think all of the Street Fighter figures that we have seen so far with the crossover WWE have been really strong. We do have Kofi Kingston up first here, which I think looks great. Really cool going on. He's got his bare feet. I really like how they are mixing these characters together. I do think that some of the selections are a bit odd. Just for reference, I think the Akuma Xavier Woods is kind of a weird take. I know that Guile, John Cena isn't, they're not, just strictly sticking to the actual Street Fighter movie where Cody Rhodes is Guile and Roman Reigns is Akuma, but Akuma Xavier Woods, I don't know. Am I wrong on that? Let me know if I'm wrong on that, because I feel like these fists are really big. It looks like they're using Undertaker fists. Which is a thing, another thing that kind of adds to it, right? This isn't the Xavier Woods torso they usually use. They usually use the beefier mold like we saw in that sombrero figure. So I don't know. There's just some weird things going on with this line that are very interesting to say the least. I just don't really know how to monitor it. But there are more than just those figures. Like we saw even more Street Fighter figures, which we're going to get into right now. But the Kofi Kingston DJ figure is pretty sweet. I think that's a nice crossover there. But we also have some other ones here, and I think some of them make sense. I don't know how it plays out. I'll give you my whole deal here, man. But anyway, we do have Stephanie Vaquer as Chun-Li here, and this one looks pretty good, man. I mean, for the most part, it does capture the character. I did see some different comments, kind of frustrated with this or not liking this pick, which I can see. Again, I'm not a Street Fighter fan, man. I think the figures are really good so far. I think a lot of the selections are pretty cool so far. But as far as specific characters tying into who, this is not my battle to fight. You know what I mean? These are not for me. This is not up my alley. Again, even the other crossover lines, I'm not a huge TMNT guy. I like some elements of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There are definitive Turtles for me specifically. There was a time when I liked them, but it's not some fandom that I'm just in and love so much. And that's kind of how I feel about these Street Fighter figures. They look cool and everything, but the Stephanie figure does look cool. I think it looks nice and everything. But we also have Tatanka as T-Hawk, and this one is pretty cool. I mean, I guess the pick makes sense, We have a render image and a prototype image. Tatanka being in this wave is kind of insane. I think it's pretty crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb. You could tell, am I straight up wrong? But how many people love Street Fighter and also love Tatanka or want this as a crossover? I don't know. I don't know. I think that, I guess what I'm thinking is with these crossover lines, I'm guessing, or I'm thinking in my brain, that it would be talent that is, not necessarily more notably known, but more of maybe more higher profile names, maybe. But it's still a sick figure. I think it looks amazing, and I'm looking forward to it because I think these figures are really fun. It's just, I did not expect Tatanka in this. When you announce a Street Fighter WWE line, Tatanka is just not who pops in my brain. That's kind of where I'm going with that. But we also have a few others here in this thing. So we also have Brock Lesnar as Zangief. Is that his name? Zangief? Is that how you pronounce it? Again, man, not a Street. I know this character, but I am not, familiar with the ins and outs here. But this figure also just looks absolutely insane. I feel like I've seen some customs of this in the past, but he's got the cloth goods cape. Figure looks insane, very, very detailed. Every figure that they have done in this line so far has just been really, really cool. And that's what I love about it. I like that they have fun with it. They just do the crossover specifically, and I hope that the people that are Street Fighter fans, now I can appreciate a badass action figure, and that's what I'm looking at mostly in these lines, but I just hope the people that are WWE and Street Fighter fans really, really do love these. I hope that they are accurate to the characters and whatnot, and you can let me know about all those things. But we also have this Elite Ultimate Edition Jey Uso Dalsim figure, which is just ridiculous. We talked about this a little bit already, but you'll notice this is an ultimate torso on an elite crotch or ultimate crotch with elite legs. It's portrayed as an elite figure, but it has interchangeable arms, so you do have a Ultimate Edition torso so that you can interchange these stretched out arms, which I think is so damn cool. It's just a crazy pick. It's just crazy, but I guess it's so you can do the extender hands. I understand it. It's cool. It's pretty sick for the most part, but yeah, just incredible fun figures. And that's kind of what toys and action figures are all about, right? They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be creative and just, doing whatever the hell. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be these different things. So it makes sense, man. It makes sense. but, you know, at least it makes sense in certain aspects. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But these figures do look cool. I think that there's a lot to like here, a lot of fun to be had, and you can let me know where you stand on them. But we also have some Legends figures here that we did see back at WWE World. We do have the Steiner brothers, which look really cool. I do like the way that both of these turned out. We're getting some elites here with some new tag team championships, which I think is really, really sweet on both of these. I love that we're getting the talking hand as well, which I love. I just think, I don't know, man. The Legends figures, the Legends shelves, man, you get all the Legends elites and you put them up next to each other and you get them on the shelf. They just really stand out, and I love it. And I think that I don't know, it's just so much more colorful than the modern day. I don't know. Let me know what you're thinking there. But I do like this Legends wave. I think it's really strong. We also have the Tonga Kid, which we also saw a prototype of at WWE World, which I think is really sweet. His torso looks a bit miscolored. I don't know if that's like a factory thing or an early prototype. Hopefully that will not be on the final. But we also have WrestleMania 20 Undertaker, which is personally one of my favorite looks of Undertaker. Very specific look. I love that they are getting the belt buckle sculpted on there. He should have the sculpted stuff down the pant legs as well, which I think is great. But this WrestleMania 20 Taker, that is one of my favorite, stories, vignettes. Just awesome, awesome Undertaker right here. This is a long time coming. This is a look of Undertaker I have wanted specifically for a very long time, man. So I am very excited to finally have this in elite figure form from Mattel. And then you put all that together, you do get the Micro Rotunda here, which is a very, very unique look. I think it's cool. You got the Varsity Club singlet on there. Got the Converse looking boots. Very, very sweet figure overall right here for the Build-A-Figure with the Legends set. No more chases in the Legends Greatest Hits set or in the Legends waves. It is going to be a Build-A-Figures now, as we know. But that whole Legends set looks pretty cool, man. We're getting some fresh faces in there. It's not the same rehashed characters, which I think is nice to see. But moving on in, man, we do have a look at some new render images of some upcoming elites. We do have a Promo Gear LA Knight, which is a surprise, man. He's got his Timbs on there, which I think is cool. He's got his vest. This is, something that we pitch all the time, right? We always pitch, we want promo gears of this guy and that guy. And we're starting to see some of that. It's been, mostly a basics thing, but we're starting to see it more in the elite line, which I like. We got Cody Rhodes. We've seen him in suit. We've seen him in the track pants and joggers and whatnot that we're going to be seeing in the Saturday Night's Main Event line. We're getting LA Knight here, which I think is nice, so I do look forward to this figure. We also have a look at Maxine Dupree from her Intercontinental Championship win. I know it's pretty much outdated now, but still an updated Maxine, which I think is pretty cool. It looks pretty good on paper. Hopefully, again, these are render images, man. It's really hard to judge. You don't know it could come out busted, but I do have high hopes for the Maxine figure. We also have Kit Wilson, which is great. Updated Kit Wilson. I love the gear choice here. He's going to come with his necklace. He does have, got the handsome face going on. You get the cool sleeves and everything. A very unique gear, and it should be bright and colorful. Maybe we'll get some shimmer and some reflection going on here, but I do like the look of this figure. This is mostly needed here for an update on him. We also have an updated Obafemi, and my God, this takes the other Obafemi and stuffs him in a locker because I think this one is so much better. You get a serious, pissed-off Obafemi. Hopefully the likeness is good. His first Elite was good. I just didn't like the head sculpt, which you could argue, we talk about it all the time, the head sculpt is probably the most important part of a wrestling action figure, at least for the most part, because, if it doesn't look like the character, then what the hell are we doing, son? What are we doing? You could have different iterations of a character, but these are real-life people, so, you gotta judge that fairly, and hopefully this Obafemi turns out really, really nice. But moving right along, man, these are two elites that I think look great. Now, I do not like the Nia Jax head sculpt, brother. I don't know who that is, and, we've seen this before where the render image looks identical to the character, and then when the final figure comes out, it looks nothing like them. And then we have seen where the render image looks nothing like the character, but then the final image comes out and it looks just like them. So I don't know what this is, but I am glad they made these into elites. Lash Legend getting her first elite. She is getting a basic as well. And then we have Nia Jax, both of them in this all-white homage gear here that they wore at WrestleMania. My God in heaven, I love this, or at least I'm glad on these choices. This is a great choice, very toyetic. They should stand out. They are one in, they're a moment in time, right? They're a moment in time, but you're going to get those signature Lash Legend hands and everything. I just hope that these figures turn out great, man. They are renders, very long way to go. Hopefully they capture the characters, but we'll have to wait and see. But we also saw some upcoming elites of Danhausen. First elite Danhausen. Love this gear. I think it could arguably be better than his basic and his ultimate. I love this gear. I love the teeth with the faces on it. You get the cool boots. You get the tattoos, you get the cursed hands, very toyetic gear, very toyetic figure. This is going to be a mainline elite. I guarantee all these elites we've just talked about, because they are, current day talent, I imagine that all these figures will be mainline, and they will be coming in the next, the waves to follow, right? So you have your Elite 130, Elite 131, and etc. But love this Danhausen. Think it looks fantastic. We also have a CM Punk with the new Raw microphone, which I think is also going to be a mainline figure. We're getting an updated CM Punk here, updated torso, head sculpt in the red gear, which I think is sweet. Dude, CM Punk has so many damn elite figures, it's actually insane. But this one also looks really good, and I think, CM Punk fans will be happy to get this one as well. And then we also have a look at an upcoming Hulk Hogan figure, which we didn't really get a lot of Hulk Hogan updated figures, right? I don't feel like they really showed a lot here, but we do have this classic version. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the Andre the Giant version of the championship? I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, crucify me down in the comment section, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But you do have a bright yellow specific look for Hogan. I don't remember the exact details of this. If you know the exact attire and moment of whatnot of this Hogan, you can let me know again. And then we have some huge first time in the line figures. I mean, these kind of broke, we didn't really, I don't know, they didn't get all their moments, but these are huge figures here, man. We got a first time in the line Abyss, which is a long time coming. I know that, of course, TNA legend, these are characters that work for WWE now that, kind of got their shine elsewhere, but they're under contracts, and so they're able to make their previous looks here. And with WWE and TNA, I don't know what the possibilities are, but my God, this is a great, this is one of the figures that I think a lot of people are really looking forward to. Got a big pop at Comic-Con on the reveal, and I know online it was going crazy, but this is a fantastic reveal. We're also getting Victoria, which is another huge one. I do think she looks a bit thin here. I'm not impressed with this render. I don't really think this looks like her. I don't think the build of this figure is right. It looks kind of mailed in, man. I hope this is not the only version, or this figure is highly different when it comes out. I just hope that they do better, man, because, a lot of collectors have been waiting on a Victoria figure, and they're going to put it out, and then it's going to be just nothing like the character. This looks like if Victoria were to get a figure in 2011, you know what I mean, or 2012. This does not look like a modern Victoria-style figure, if that makes sense. But hopefully it comes together. I want the figure to be good. I just think they could have done better, man. The build of this figure just looks weird to me. And then we also have a look at first time in the line Jimmy Garvin, man. And this is the stuff I'm talking about where Mattel is so deep in the bag, they are giving us characters you'd never thought you'd see. You never think you'd see it, Brad, but you do see it. You do see it, man. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff going on here in this entire deal. But this is a big pop. I know a lot of people, this is not made for me. This is not made for me. However, I can still see the excitement, and I'm always glad to see new characters be made into the line and, getting these characters that people have wanted in their collections for so long. And then we wrap it up with first-time Buddy Roberts, where you can finally complete the fabulous Freebirds, man. So really, really cool that Mattel would, it took a while. It took a while to finally complete a team, but man, it is really cool when Mattel can take it upon themselves to, get these teams in here and fill out these shelves of characters that you would never really think you could get in action figure form, especially at this scale, in this nice Mattel modern figure form. So you got to love to see that from Mattel and everybody. But I do like the way that all this looks. But we also look at some upcoming Monday Night Wars figures. We do have K-Quick here, or an updated R-Truth, or not updated, flashback R-Truth, which looks really cool. I like that they're kind of using that old R-Truth mold on the pants. It's going to come with a jersey, I imagine. Really cool R-Truth figure, or K-Quick, which is technically a first time in the line, which I think is really awesome. You love to see a new figure here, and I think a lot of people have been wanting a K-Quick figure for a very long time. We also have a look at the Nasty Boys, which are getting updates. We have not seen them since Elite Series 42, I think, which seems like yesterday, but at the same time, I think it was almost 10 years ago now, which makes me want to literally hold myself underwater until the damn bubble stops. So, and that is insane. That is, time has kind of flown that fast, but these figures do look good. I like the updated kind of boots look. We also have Jacqueline in the line, which I think is a huge first time in the line. You could put her next to, all these different first times that we've seen, man. All these different first time characters, and and figures that we're finally getting. We even got to see a prototype on display, and I know a lot of people were dunking on this figure, which I understand. I understand where you're coming from, big dog. I see you barking down there, but I think that, again, getting the character and, maybe we'll get it in hand and it won't be perfect, but if this is all we get, at least they attempted it, it's there, and hopefully, this figure will be good when it's all said and done. But we also have Cold Steve Austin, Danhausen Stone Cold, or Stone Cold as Danhausen, whatever you want to say here, but it's very crazy that this is going to be in the Monday Night Wars line. I saw a lot of people saying, how the hell is this in the Monday Night Wars line or what have you. This really shocked Danhausen when they revealed it as well. He's going to have this unique head sculpt. Very just hilarious figure, and I'm kind of glad they're just having fun with it and kind of doing their own thing and, just kind of making the most of it, even though, it kind of tells you where we are, I guess, with the damn, Monday Night Wars line at this point. A lot of people saying that it's kind of, ran its course, but I don't know. You can let me know how much life you think is left, but, this is another Danhausen figure we're getting, which was kind of fun and had a big pop at Comic-Con. But then the next figures are going to be really, some other really outstanding figures here as we get into it. We have a last little stretch that I want to get into. But up next, we did have some new Defining Moments figures, starting out first with John Cena. This is going to be the Boston Celtics gear. Very good-looking figure. Another retirement tour. Another last time is now, last run for Cena. I like this. I think this is going to sell well. I didn't really expect to see this in the, the Defining Moments line, but I do like that we're getting this look and character. A very toyetic gear, a gear that really stood out among the retirement tour gears, so I like that. We also have WrestleMania 32 Zack Ryder, Defining Moments Intercontinental Championship. This is actually on my wish list, so that looks really good. I do think the arms could be bigger. I really wish that the arms were bigger on this guy, but what are we going to do there? He's got a lot of new stuff going on, really cool gear. They have his boots correct this time. There's some really good stuff going on here, and I look forward to more figures of his, and I just think that the small arms and shoulders got to go, man. We have seen this movie 100 times. Like, can we please get something else? But yeah, Zack Ryder's coming out there. We also have Dennis Rodman, which is another just ridiculous pick here, but, a long time coming, one that has been on the wish list for so many people for so many years to get into the WWE Mattel line, but continuing to flesh out those NWO figures. We're going to have the most ridiculous NWO shelf by the end of this, but I do like the look of this render. I hope it reminds me of the old school WCW figure. But then the last figure for the Defining Moments line that is coming is we are going to be getting Hornswoggle with the Cruiserweight Championship, which I think is a really unique pick here for the Defining Moments line. We just had a grayed out render, but we're going to have another opportunity to get another Hornswoggle in here, which I think is fantastic. Look forward to getting his figure again. And then we have the Saturday Night's Main Events Elites here, which is going to feature Jake the Snake, kind of a repaint. All these figures are pretty much repainted, but we do have a Jake the Snake in white, which was revealed here at Comic-Con. Another figure is Seth Rollins. He's going to come with the Money in the Bank briefcase. You have the black gear. This is the third Seth Rollins Elite that we actually got to see, which is unique for San Diego, or for Comic-Con. I didn't expect to see 3 new Seth Rollins, but this is the second of 3 total Seths we saw. We also have a Batista, which I think he only wrestled on a handful of Saturday Night's main events, but he did have this attire here. I don't really like this Batista. I feel like it's not the most exciting Batista, I guess you could say, out of here. We also have a big Boss Man figure fitting into the Saturday Night's main event, which is, they are adding a jacket, so it's a little bit different than those previous Boss Mans, but I feel like I've seen this look of Boss Man so many times from Mattel, so it's it's not, shattering everything, but the next figure set that I want to talk about is going to be this Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt 3-pack, which is unbelievable. I love this set when they showed it off. I thought that this was one of the standout picks of the entire show. I really love all 3 versions. First of all, you have the diorama in the background, which is the Firefly Funhouse, which we've discussed. You have the operating door background diorama that is going to go great for displays. You can set up all your different Firefly Funhouse characters and Bray Wyatt's. We have the Elite 85 re-release Bray Wyatt, where they fix the pants color to the correct gray color, which is going to be the perfect representation of a Firefly Funhouse Bray outside of maybe the basic. You also have this reincarnation Fiend look, which was, rumored and concept by Bray to be coming out if the Fiend returned on television. And this figure is just stacked with all kinds of different sculpts and everything. This is a perfect box set through and through. This Fiend looks great. He is still kind of stumpy, but you get so many unique things, paint detail, crazy sculpts. The Fiend Lantern face is great. He's going to have, I think even a loose mask that he can hold. So they just pack this thing in with so much stuff. And then you do have the Muscle Man Bray, which I love too. And I love that they're giving him the damn Rex Kwon Do pants. So we're getting Muscle Man Bray with the Rex Kwon Do pants, and he can beat the hell out of people, give roundhouse kicks to the face in those bad boys. So I really like this box set. One of my favorite reveals was this box set. I love this box set for Bray Wyatt. But then we also have Elite Series 129. Now, we did detail this set already, but you do have AJ Lee, you have Finn Balor with Demonito, you have the TNA, AJ Styles return gear, you have Becky Lynch, you have another Last Time Is Now John Cena, and you do have Repo Man. We've kind of already touched on this set. We went through the entire set in a video talking about how good this set was and kind of talking about this TNA style. So if you guys missed that video, go check that out. I don't want to spend too much time here on this set, but we did have that. We also had Elite Series 128, which we also have kind of spent a lot of time on. It was already on display pretty much at WWE World, so I don't really want to sit here and discuss this one as well. But there were some standouts in these two sets. I just don't want to spend a whole bunch of time on them because we've covered them at length kind of already. But, it's the JC Jane, the Jelly Roll, the Randy Orton, kind of, not too much to discuss there, but they are there. And then the last thing that we're going to talk about here is going to be the AAA line, which, my God in heaven, was a massive surprise. We're going to be getting Ultimates, we're going to be getting Elites, and we do start off here with this Rey Mysterio, which I think looks so good with the jacket, a classic Rey. Love this figure, and I know it's going to be posable because it's freaking Rey Mysterio. I mean, my God, we know exactly what to expect. These are very early prototypes for these figures. I mean, we got to wait a while until these release, unfortunately, but I mean, the amount of detail that is packed in on all these figures. We also have Dominic here, which I think looks really, really good. I'm loving the way this Dominic looks, the masked Dominic. And Dominic's Elites are really good, man. I think the black and white looks clean. Kind of like a grayish color, which I think looks sweet as well. But he's very toyetic. You can hate on Dom all you want. I think he also caught off the boots saying that we're wrong, which doesn't shock me. But yeah, you do have a Dominic Mysterio there. And then we also have a look at Dr. Wagner Jr. here, man. Very toyetic, man. I love these. I look forward to this line so much, man. Again, I'm not some just plant my flag. I'm the biggest damn AAA fan you've ever seen, but by God, do I love these action figures. They look so damn good. I can't wait to get these in hand. But we also have Vikingo, which looks really good as well. The mask, the shoulders, the gear. I mean, my God in heaven, son. These are going to stand out on a shelf so nice. I love it. I love every single bit of this. And I think that just all of these figures, even the renders of upcoming figures, look so good. And then we have a look at some render images here, man. And we're starting off with Psychosis. This one is very exciting for a lot of people. I know everybody's thrilled about this, looking for different, variants and different things like that. But just getting the initial launch of this, and I know this is so far away, which is very frustrating about the AAA line because there's so many damn good figures that we have to wait so long on, which is very annoying. But what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? But we also have Pagano here, which is... it's like every figure after the last is just even more impressive and more toyetic and more epic. So I look forward to this one just as much as the rest. God dang, these are going to be so nice to look at up on the shelf all together. I mean, I can envision some beautiful displays already coming together. But a look at some other render images we have here. We do have El Grande Americano here, which is a nice one. This feels like so long and so far away, though, for, what he's done the past year or so. So that's what's kind of frustrating, again, that we have to play the waiting game. But again, I think they will be worth it when we finally get them. But of course, we do wrap up this last Elite with Mr. Iguana. You get the Layesca, which is another great one. I know that it is an Elite equivalent of his Ultimate Edition, right? They do have the made-to-order Ultimate Edition, Mr. Iguana, but this is also a very cool one, and I look forward to getting this one in hand as well. I mean, who doesn't want all these figures, man? The AAA line absolutely dunked on everybody. We had some Ultimate Editions. We had some great Elites shown off here, but I think that's every Elite. I could be wrong. If I missed some, let me know, but I think I covered every single Elite, man. So over 80-plus new WWE Elite action figures were revealed at Comic-Con, and we have broken all of them down here today, man. And I hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know your thoughts on all of these different Elite figures. But it is currently 3:15 a.m. at the time of recording this, so I've been up very late. These videos take a very long time, man. So if you are listening to this currently, please leave a like and a comment on the video. I don't care what it is. You can comment "Champ is here." You can leave a like. Just hype the video, something, man, because these videos, you don't understand the level of effort these take, man. And it's a lot of late nights. It's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. So I greatly appreciate you so much. But I'm getting out, man. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on everything you want down below. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys next time.